Traveling Pills.
Hey, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
Right? I know we were trying to do this sooner, and then I got sick.
Yeah.
And that kind of just threw everything
That
off.
That was a bummer.
Yeah, so we're here.
We made it back.
Despite the weather that's coming
I know, right?
I feel like that's been like a constant. And it's not like we haven't seen us since last year.
No.
Because we did get together to do some filming and
check out
Harry's Jailhouse.
Yes, and
Monger's Market, which we'll touch on at another time.
Yes.
But I did miss out going to Salem with you and Layla.
Yes.
Which was sad, but I was so sick. And
yeah, that would have been miserable.
It would not have been fun,
No.
and I wouldn't have wanted to get you guys sick.
No, that would have also been miserable.
Yes, exactly. So, but I've been to Salem.
Yes.
And you've been to Salem, so it works.
Yeah, it worked out.
And we're gonna go.
We're gonna go back.
We're gonna go.
I want to
Maybe
see
this summer.
I was gonna say spring or summer.
Yeah.
We were talking about, they do the Japanese cherry blossoms there, which could be really pretty.
That could be really pretty.
Yeah.
It depends on when in the spring, because I'm also in Savannah.
Oh, that's right.
In April.
That's right. That'll be pretty.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, I didn't tell you. I'm really excited. We're doing a bar hop ghost tour while in Savannah.
Okay, yeah. That's awesome.
So I'm like, well, maybe we'll have to do like a Savannah episode, because you've been to Savannah and I have, and we've had our...
Yeah.
So I think we're going to need to do that.
Yeah,
but
I'm
super excited. We're doing that. And we're doing a Prohibition museum.
Oh, cool.
And the end of it is a Prohibition, like a speakeasy.
Oh, very cool. I love that. Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm like super excited.
How many days are you there for?
So the Bachelorette is Friday to Monday, but Maria and I are going to stay till Tuesday night.
Oh, nice.
And like our flight doesn't leave till 8:45. So we have all day Tuesday. And we have like all afternoon Monday, because not everyone. I know there's a few people who are staying.
Yeah.
But most of the Bachelorette party will have left on Monday.
Right.
But we can like go do our own thing.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'm super excited. I've never been to Savannah.
It's really pretty. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing hotel or Airbnb?
An Airbnb. I've seen pictures. My sister-in-law found something.
Oh, nice.
But there's like, I don't know, 20 of us, maybe more.
Oh my
gosh. A big group.
That's a big group.
And then like find a place that has beds for everyone.
Yeah, or that also like allows that many people.
I know.
A lot of people, even if they have a ton of beds, like cut off, have a cap.
Yeah.
Even if you could.
And then also we wanted something with a pool. And
yeah.
like a lot of the problem we were finding when we first started looking was like it kept bringing up like what's the island that's near there? That's like South Carolina.
Yeah.
Which, beautiful and all, but not what we wanted to be like in like historic, like be able to get to places.
Right.
So I'm looking forward, because I've never been, so I'm excited.
That'll be really fun.
And Tim's going to New Orleans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Which we've both been. I
Yeah.
love New Orleans.
I know. We need to
go back.
I know that like with Salem, like we've both been, so we can do an episode in like Savannah, but I want us to go to New Orleans.
Yeah. We could do a New Orleans, but no, I want to go.
Yeah, I want to go and like go do the tours together and like the cemetery and do like a long weekend.
Yeah, because I didn't get to do any of the tours while I was there, because I was only there one night, 2 days.
I didn't really either. I did like one streetcar tour, but I was there for work, so it had to be after like 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
so it was
you're
like shortened.
limited.
And, But anyway, so we're here.
We're here.
Finally
back.
Getting episodes out. I'm so excited.
Me too.
And we're going to do Salem, even though I didn't get to go with you.
Yeah.
But I've been in recent years.
Yes.
Because I went not the fall we just had.
Right, but
2023 fall.
Yes.
I went with our friend Jen Tappan and Jen Saxton and my cousin-in-law and her older girls. So we had a nice time.
Nice.
And we did all the hocus pocus.
Yes.
You have to go see all the hocus pocus stuff. So, and we did a ghost tour.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was fun.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely, like, Layla and I were talking, she had just hurt her ankle, so we didn't do any of the walking tours.
Yeah.
Because she was fine to, like, walk around, but we wanted to be able to, like, stop and not have to, like, follow a pace.
Like, I need to sit. Yeah. I need to pause.
Yeah. So we kind of did our own walking tour, and, like, everything's like so clearly labeled, and they have that like yellow painted trail that you can follow, and that was great. But yeah, we definitely hit up all. I think because so you went in what month?
It was September.
September.
So like not yet October, but I mean, thankfully for us, the Saturday wasn't too bad because it was rainy. So
okay.
But like we went on the Sunday the next day too, like into downtown.
Yeah.
And it was insane.
Were there lines to get into the stores?
Yeah, it was crazy.
So that's crazy to me.
Crazy.
Because literally, like, every store we walked into, we were the only people in the store.
Yeah,
that's how fantastic.
That's how it was for us on the Saturday. But
yeah.
And again, it was raining, so it was chilly. And
it was
so
actually a little rainy
out.
Our day, too, the first day that we walked
I do want to go in December because I heard it's, like, really good, and that's when you guys got to go. And all the decorations and stuff
it's really
like that.
pretty. We went after Christmas, but obviously they still have all everything up. And yeah, it's really cutely decorated. They have Christmas trees up everywhere and everything's decorated.
So I'll have to go sometime or we can go back. Yeah. But we did like the witch museum when we went. And what else did we do? There was something else we did. I mean, we went into a bunch of shops. We went into like a broom making shop.
Cool.
And
I don't know if I saw that.
It was down near the water.
Okay, I didn't go all the way down to the water.
Area. Yeah. There was something else we did, and I'm like just having like a brain fart right now, and I'm like, I don't remember. It'll come to me.
Yeah.
But like we had a good time, and it was like great. Oh, we did the witch's house, which is what I'm going to be talking about today.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Jen! I swear to God. But yeah, so it was fun. We had a great time. And we did have the itty bitty baby with us at the time, and she was an itty bitty baby at the time.
That's true, yes.
But it was like the first time we didn't do something with like the younger kids, but we did take the teenagers, and they had a really good time.
Nice.
So
that's fun. Yeah, it's really. We also went Layla and I went to the ouija board museum.
We didn't do that, and I'm like a little jealous.
We have to go back because it was really fun. It's a small little like you walk in and there's like a big gift shop, and then the back is a museum, and it's like 2 rooms. It's really tiny.
Yeah.
But the owner was there, and like it was just Layla and I, and he just
have to talk about all
that. And they just like took us through the museum. So we'll get into that too.
Yeah, I want to go back to that then.
No, it was really. I want to go back too. It was really interesting.
But yeah, so since it was like in the ghost tour I did, and we got to go, I decided that I was gonna do the witch's house in Salem.
Yeah,
and it's
such cool.
It's so cool. It's so cool. It's also known as the Corwin House.
Oh.
So it says Captain Nathaniel Davenport was who originally owned the land where the house was built.
Okay.
And the Davenports started construction on the house and then left when it hadn't even been finished.
Oh.
So that was when Judge Jonathan Corwin purchased the house, and he finished it.
Okay.
So he's the reason, like, it is the way it is. Like, he added everything to it. Jonathan Corwin was an heir to one of the largest Puritan fortunes in New England.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was pretty prominent in the area. And he and his family would take part in the most famous witch hunt in American history.
Oh.
So the house is one of the few structures still standing in Salem with direct ties to the Salem witch hunt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the trials were in 1692.
Wow.
Yeah. So very old house.
Yes.
And Corwin, when he bought the house in 1975, he would live there. He was 35 years, and he would live there with his family for 40.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they lived there for a very long time, and it stayed in the family until like the mid-19th century. So from the 1600s to like the mid-1800s.
Wow.
Yeah, a really long time. And it says during the Salem witch trials of 1692, Corwin was called upon to investigate the claims of a diabolical activity with a surge of witchcraft accusations arose in Salem.
Oh.
So he took the place of Judge Nathaniel Saltonstall.
Okay.
who resigned after the execution of Bridget Bishop.
Oh, okay.
Who, like, was the start of it all.
Right.
So I don't know, did he resign because he wasn't fully in agreement? Was there, what was going on?
Right.
Was he in fully agreement and there was just,
Yeah.
So he resigned and Judge Corwin took over. Corwin served as the court of Oyer and Terminer, which ultimately sent 19 people to the gallows.
Wow.
Yeah. Those accused during this period were brought to his house first. So the witch's house. They were brought there for examination.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The house eventually passed to Corwin's grandson, who owned it until 1746. And then in 1836, the house was no longer part of the Corwin family. And Sarah Cushing lived there until 1851.
Okay.
And then George Farrington purchased it, and it became a pharmacy.
Oh.
Like, the first floor was a pharmacy. And then upstairs was, like, the living area.
Gotcha.
He was who referred the house as the witch house. Oh. So it wasn't called the witch house until he had it.
Much later.
Much later.
Much later, yeah.
1856.
Oh, yeah, so much
over
later.
200 years. Around the turn of the 20th century, the house was divided then into apartments, still with one of the bottom areas being the drugstore.
Oh, okay.
And then the other half was an antique parlor.
Oh, wow.
And then in 1940, the structure was threatened to be demolished to accommodate a wider street. So the house got moved back from its current. So it's not where it currently was. They literally moved it back so they could widen the street.
Because it is right on that main street there.
Let's see. And then that's when in the 40s they restored it to its original 17th century appearance. So they got rid of the apartments.
Right.
They got rid of the storefronts. It became a historical piece of the city. The city actually owned it and operates it as a museum.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, and so then, so that's like just a little history on Judge Corwin and, where how it became called the witch house. Obviously, they had people there that they were accusing of being witches.
Right.
So, like, I'd call it the witch house, too.
Yeah, like, appropriate name.
So, some fun facts that I thought were kind of interesting. And they had told us this at the time on the tour, and then I was like, I need to go back and, like, remember what I was told.
Refresh your memory.
But it said an odd practice from the era of when the house was built was to place a shoe inside the home's wall to ward off witches and warlocks. So the witch house keeps an old black shoe from the past owner, so from one of the original owners.
Yeah.
On the premises to continue this old practice.
Oh.
So I thought that was like a really fun fact.
Yeah.
And then the other fun fact was the witch house possesses a puppet. A puppet is a doll used for spell casting or sympathetic magic.
Yep.
The puppet found in the nearby house of Bridget Bishop may retain residual energy. So the puppet that they have was from her house.
From her house. Oh, that's interesting.
Now for the ghostly encounters.
Okay.
There's a bunch of stuff. So, I didn't get too many of like first-hand stories.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's just because they don't really, which I found interesting that it wasn't out there, but what's been told is that they'll hear disembodied voices. Mm-hmm. You'll feel being touched, like someone will come up and touch you. Uh-huh. Cold spots.
Oh. Hearing
a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Electronic disruption.
Interesting.
A heavy feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know firsthand how that feels.
Yeah.
Like draining.
Yep.
Some say that Jonathan Corrett's spirit still haunts the house, looking to accuse a new innocent. Which I'm like, that's a horrible way to spend your afterlife.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Like, seriously. Some say that the spirit of a young girl was possibly the youngest of the accused of the witchcraft trials that haunts the house.
Oh.
But he also had children.
Yeah.
So
that could be.
It could be that. And then some say that the spirits of those who died from the Salem witch trials still haunt the house, which I could understand that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. 'Cause that's where they were brought.
Exactly. To be examined and investigated and persecuted before they even stood trial.
Yeah.
You know? Which
yeah,
is
that's
so
definitely
horrible.
like a residual. Yeah, it's awful.
So
what a like kind of dark.
I will say that I didn't feel the dread or the heaviness like I felt at the Glebe house.
Oh, interesting.
It didn't feel like rainbows and butterflies.
Right.
But like I didn't have that very negative
Yeah.
feeling. But it was interesting. The history was interesting. I enjoyed the tour.
Yeah, the house, the architecture, it's a gorgeous house.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And just to know what it's gone through in time.
Yeah.
With the
really
apartments and the drugstore and the antique shop. And now it's,
Yeah.
the city runs it now, which is kind of awesome because the money goes back to the city.
Yeah.
And,
that's really interesting.
people learn history at the same time.
Yeah.
I want to hear all about the Ouija board museum.
Yes, it was like, so that was like.
But they also call it Witchboard Museum?
Witchboard, yes.
Witchboard,
I think
okay.
the museum is technically called the Witchboard Museum.
Okay.
But it's there's Ouija. It says Ouija everywhere. But Ouija actually like later became the name. It was originally known as the Witchboard.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Ouija.
It wasn't like a spirit board. It was a witch board.
It was a witch board. Spirit board also was like a common
Okay.
name for it too. And
I didn't know that.
it was used like way before, who was it, Milton Bradley,
Harborough, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was Harborough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That makes it now. But they were used like in Europe, like, you know, we're talking like hundreds of years ago as like a communication tool.
Okay.
And then it eventually got.
I heard once, and I don't remember what podcast I heard this on, but I heard that it was rumored to be like, it was kind of advertised as like a dating thing because you could like touch the person's hand. That you were like, without it being like improper or like not okay.
The Salem Witchboard Museum is owned and operated by John Kozik, a founding member of the Talking Board Historical Society. Working with the other members, they seek to preserve and uncover the history surrounding the Talking Board. The items contained in the museum are from his personal collection or donated to the museum for display and educational purposes. John is available for speaking engagements on the wonders and historic impacts of the Ouija board and talking boards.
I would love to pick his brain.
So he was, I'm assuming he's there all the time. I have no idea if we just got lucky. When you go in, there's like the little gift shop, and then we went back into the museum, and he was in there, and then he was the one that gave us like the tour.
Oh, how cool!
And because we went like December after the holidays,
it was quiet.
It was literally only me and Layla in this museum.
You might have just gotten lucky that day, which is fine too.
Which totally worked out.
Yeah.
I feel like on crowded days, I'm sure they like host tours at times, but this was just like you just walked in. And
that's awesome.
It was. And so John was there, and he was the one that gave us the tour and like gave us the history of it, and it was really fascinating just like walking through. He's got like one of the oldest known spirit boards.
That's crazy. From like Europe then?
Yes.
Wow.
And then he's got like an entire wall of just like chronological boards of just
that's so cool.
It's crazy. And like really like in you know glass cases, like really some of the old original different like types of them. And then he also has like an entire collection of when I think it's Harborough started mass producing. There was like different like versions of it.
Like not what we're familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they like got in, I think there's like a Barbie one and like a
how fun.
Yeah.
I always wanted, and I know that this isn't sold by like Harborough, but like the one from Charmed.
Oh yeah.
Like how it was like the wood, like stained wood. Like I always was like so cool, so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some, like, amazing pieces that are, like, the wood and the old, and he's got, like, a whole, like, different kinds of planchettes and how those were used.
That's so cool.
He also talked about how a lot of the, like, fear around Ouija boards is actually from, like, misinformations that were portrayed in scary movies to make it scarier.
I've heard that. Yeah.
So that was really interesting to, like, hear about, like, a lot of people, when they originally were using it, were just using it as a communication tool.
Yeah.
For information, and it was, they were mediums, and it wasn't necessary, they were people who were using them and they were mediums, and that was, like, their, like, form of, like, divination.
Okay.
It wasn't at that point, like, a kind of, like, party game, parlor trick sort of thing. That came, like, later.
Okay.
And then with that came it being, like, basically a take-home board game.
I know, just for $19.99.
Yeah, exactly.
You too can communicate with
the dead.
Whoever.
Yeah.
Uncle Joe.
Yep. So there's the little blurb of the museum I kind of loved. Located on Salem's historic Essex Street, come see the world's only Ouija museum and explore the board's mysterious past, present, and future. Pop icon to some and portal to the beyond to others. Has Hollywood given this toy a bad rap, or has it earned this dark reputation? Can wood, cardboard, and plastic truly be evil? Discover the controversy for yourself.
You know, I like that. I like that a lot.
Right.
And it's interesting that they said that, because I feel like it's also whatever you put into it.
So
if you don't have good intentions, then good things aren't going to happen. If you're going to go in wanting the worst, you're going to get the worst, and you have no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah. Well, and that was, like, one of the things that he brought up is, like, a lot of the, like, rules of the Ouija board aren't actually real rules. There are things that people have kind of, like, made up for movies, and then they've become rumors, and they've kind of spread the idea that, like, you have to say goodbye
at the end. Yeah, to, like, close it. And...
Yeah. He's like, but if you truly believe that, then do it.
Yes.
Because, like, your intention means more than, like, these rules.
Yes.
So if, like, you truly believe that, then do that for yourself.
That makes sense.
Because...
That makes, like, legit sense.
Yeah.
And I was always, I mean, you too. We were always the ones that was like, okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, but you're not who I was trying to talk to.
Yep.
Later.
Yep. He was, like, asking, like, when he was, like, telling the stories, and he's like, so would you? And I was like, honestly, I feel like I'm the one this is marketed to. Like, yes. I was using a Ouija board with my friend. I was like, who is supposed to be here right now?
Yes.
I know. Since we were in second grade.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's just fascinating, too, because it's like, is it, isn't it? You know, like, I feel like there's been a lot of cases where you're like, you can't argue with it. Like, it's like, how would that person know this stuff? Like,
yeah.
But then obviously there's the in the basement with your childhood friends, or not. I mean, not that we did this, but like you're forcing it, and like
But it was interesting too, because I was like, well, do you use a Ouija board?
Yeah.
And he's like, he said he doesn't. I wish I could remember exactly how he worded it, but it was like, it doesn't work for me, or I don't have luck with it. He's like, but my grandmother is the one who was like fast, like she would just
crazy
and had a connection with it.
Did he say if he was a medium? Because it sounds like his grandmother probably was.
It sounds like he kind of said that, like, that skipped over him.
Oh, okay.
And that's like part of the whoa. He was like very like, this was like my grandma's thing, and that's like what inspired him to like have such a fascination in it.
That makes sense.
But he said that the like basically the gift like kind of skipped over him, but he also feels like it's like him getting in his own way.
That was really interesting.
Yeah, it's a really interesting museum. There's it was interesting like seeing like the European Ouija boards and like the collection of. Then he also has like an entire collection of like movie posters that like feature
that display Ouija boards.
There's one. Oh, I wrote it down, so I'll have to look it up. But that we'll have to watch. That it's just like he was like it's super cheesy, but it's
like a
so
D
good.
movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
And I was like, and then he was like, "Oh, have you seen Ouija Origin?" And they started describing it, and that's the one where she looks
hearing it, but I never
through
saw
the
it.
planchette.
Yeah.
Then as soon as he said like that she looks through it and like sees things.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I have seen that one. That one's really good. But
I remember when that came out, but I didn't see it. Yeah.
But he's like, that's another example of a movie. Like looking through a planchette was never a thing. The movie just made it up because when she looked through it, she could see things.
Into the
and like see the creatures and things. And there was like a demon involved in that.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yep. But it's a good creepy one. It's like creepy in the like how like The Sixth Sense was scary, or The Ring, or The Grudge.
Okay, that's
it's not
too,
like
it's like something at the end comes out and you're like, okay, yeah.
It's not like gory or bloody or anything like
I
that.
can handle the ones that are more like psychological, make you think. It's the bloody, gory that I'm good.
The slasher ones, I'm not a big fan of.
Like aside from Scream, because that's like cult
that
classic.
doesn't count. That's amazing.
That doesn't count.
No. All of those 90s ones.
All those 90s ones, like I Knew What You Did Last Summer.
Yes, Final Destination.
Yeah, those don't count.
Those don't count.
They don't count.
They're like almost like
they're like comical.
Yeah.
Like once you see it once, then it becomes funny.
I also
that's like oh no, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I also during like Halloween, October, I like watching them all on cable because they're cut, they're edited for television, so they're not quite as graphic.
Yes, they're not as scary.
Yes.
We have you seen? Oh my gosh, what is it called? I haven't seen it in years. It's Michael J. Fox. Frighteners.
Oh, I loved that movie.
Love Frighteners. I had Tim watch it like within the last couple of years because he'd never seen it. But that's like another like
that's a good
yeah. But well, that's good. I like that. So we're gonna do a new little thing that I wanted to like for fun add to our big like our Wednesday episodes that we do, and so I came up with this thing called Cryptid Who. Okay. Because why not? Let's learn a little bit about cryptids. I'm going to start off easy.
Okay.
And then I feel like eventually I'll be learning along with you.
Yes.
But I was trying to like not be mean.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a few hints.
Okay.
And then I'm going to let you kind of like throw some guesses out there. If you don't want to throw them out right away, you don't have to. And then I'm going to give you a few more hints.
Okay.
So the first hint is the first sighting of me was November 12th. 1966 by grave diggers in Clendenin, West Virginia. I have an impressive wingspan of 10 feet and can fly at speeds of 100 miles per hour.
Okay.
I have red glowing eyes. So I'll let you like think on those for a little bit.
Okay. I have an idea. I'm just trying to remember its name.
Oh no. Do you want me to keep going?
Yes.
So you can have time. Okay.
Yes.
People claim that I could possibly have been the reason the Silver Bridge collapsed.
Okay.
Some say that I may actually just be a sandhill crane. Because they're like super big. They're like massive. And the last hint I'm giving you is I have a museum, several books, and a movie made about me. And the movie's not just documentary because I'm sure there's documentaries too. This is like a thriller, not thrasher, but like one of those movies.
Well, the first thing that, like, all of that, the movie that popped into my head, which is not the right movie, I don't think, is, because I don't think it's the right creature, I don't think this is a cryptid, is, Jeepers Creepers.
It's not that.
Do you remember that movie with Justin Long?
I do. I do
another
remember. That's a good one.
That one's a little gory, but that one's so funny.
It's so funny.
And Justin Long is so good in it.
Yeah, I love him and stuff like that. He like plays such a great character.
I know, he's so funny. I like Justin Long.
Yep, no, it's not Jeepers Creepers.
Okay, no. Is it that bat creature?
Yeah, do you know what its name is?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
It's not really a bat.
It's not really a bat, but it's like got bat-like features.
Yeah,
some of them
sort of
mixed with like.
Not really.
Oh, maybe that's not. Maybe I'm thinking.
Well, I think you are on the right. It's got features that could come across, but they're not bat.
Okay.
Like I think you are on the right.
Okay. Yeah. What is that?
I know you know it, and you're gonna kick yourself when I tell you.
I was gonna say it's like when we play. What's that game that we play?
Mind the Gap.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, I know the answer. Okay, you're gonna have to tell me because I'm gonna.
It's fine. It's fine. The Mothman.
Oh.
So yes, I saw where you were going with like the bat-like features.
Yes.
But it's moth features.
It's moth features. And it's Mothman. Yes, Mothman.
Right? I thought that was a good one to start off with. And like we both know who Mothman is. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
I knew if you couldn't get the name, you at least knew you were gonna know what I was talking
about. Which one it was. Yeah.
So,
no, definitely.
That's good.
That was
That's fun. I'm happy we did that.
I am too.
So anyways, as always, we are the Traveling Ghouls.
So hitchhiking ghosts beware.